Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. This whole NSAS NSWAT has brought about a lot of reckoning, a lot of brainstorming, and this is making a lot of persons to start opening up and telling themselves the truth. According to them, they believe that they've been keeping quiet for a while, but there is time for them to open up and say their mind the way it is. But before we go into the news proper and further analysis, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. All right, Senator Christopher Ekpenyong is actually currently representing Ekpenyong Senatorial District of Akwa Ibom State on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, that's PDP, after, of course, defeating Senator Godswill Akpabio of the All Progressive Congress (APC), where he served as a deputy governor during Obong Vito Ata's administration. In this except he bears his mind on the agitation for self-determination by some sectors or some sections in the country. He also spoke about the chances of PDP to reclaim power, as the case may be. But we just want to concentrate on what his views are on what is going on in Nigeria, what IPOB and Oduduwa's concepts are, and of course what he stands. He said they asked him that how do you assess the various agitation for self-determination by IPOB and Oduduwa People's Congress. These are his responses. I don't want what happened this morning. They said, I don't know, but what happened this morning? I pray to God to strengthen our unity. I believe in unity in diversity. No tribe in Nigeria is so self-sufficient. God blessed every part of this country with both human and natural resources. The north, with its vast landmass, produces potatoes, onions, gold, tin ore, tomatoes, and many others. Bitumen, cocoa are found in the west, and from southeast down the south we have oil palm, coal, limestone, and the mighty crude oil, which is the only thing that is keeping Nigeria one today. So for me, if Oduduwa and independent people of Biafra IPOB are saying they want to secede, I am waiting for them to take the first step. Then we'll follow after them. We are marginalized, humiliated, oppressed, yes, but let us try not to make the mistake of the past. I saw the civil war even though I was very young. Those boys that are agitating for war today have not seen war. I believe that there is something fundamentally wrong with Nigeria, but our diversity can work if we do the right thing. Unfortunately, you see one part of the nation oppressing the rest. Today, all security apparatus are headed by one tribe, which has never happened in the history of Nigeria. We have over 250 tribes in Nigeria, and we interact with each other, coexist. Why can't we respect every group instead of one ethnic group oppressing others? I was 6 years old when Nigeria has its independence, and after 60 years, I'm still crying about the marginalization, subjugation, denial of right, oppression of people of my area, the then Eastern region. So I wouldn't say no to Oduduwa and I wouldn't say no to IPOB, because it will be that they feel that their people have been pushed to the wall for too long. Wow. That means indirectly he's saying that he's just watching for Oduduwa and IPOB, that's Biafra, to be actualized. Then of course they'll be looking at the South doing what they feel should be the right thing to be done, probably to get their own country. Have you now seen? But let's continue. You now have to run further to explain what is going on in the leadership of Nigeria. He bared his mind. He said, look, to the state, the fact is that this administration led by President Mohammad Buhari came on board in 2015. So Buhari has spent about 5 years now. Now, let me remind you, when he was campaigning ahead of 2015 general election, he promised that he would solve the myriads of problems of Nigeria, ranging from security to economic problems, in 6 months if elected. They said Boko Haram would be a thing of the past because they had the theory and the strategy. So we said, a magician is coming to make a difference. Our thinking then was that probably the exchange rate that was 160 naira to a dollar at the black market will reduce because of what he did in 1985 as a military head of state, by ensuring that the exchange rate then was nearly 1 naira to a dollar. Some of us also thought that our debt profile was going to be reduced because as a head of state, Buhari brought the concept and the theory of bartering, which at that time helped in the payment of the debts Nigeria was owing using proceeds from oil, which is our common wealth. So we thought that the same magic could be done too so that Nigeria will be debt free. But the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammad, is telling us a different story today. For goodness sake, today it is almost 500 naira to a dollar. A dollar, 500 naira. We were told that food would be sufficient. In fact, I also thought that by now the security forces, that's the army, the police, would have been properly equipped and well paid to ensure the security of the country against kidnapping, insurgency, and banditry. In the 1960s, we didn't hear of banditry in this country until recently. They promised us steady power supply, but the epileptic power problem is still there. And today, this government has gone to sign an agreement with a German company that was brought to this country by late MKO Abiola to handle our communication system that almost ruined Nigeria. Our communication system would have stagnated if this company was still around today. I can't even understand why people would have to go back to that German company to come and handle our power system when other companies are there. And the main problem of our power in this country is not generation but transmission. For me, unless the federal government hands off the control of electricity completely, there will be no improvement. In spite of their failure to fix these things, you still hear some people sometimes saying, if you're in APC, you are a saint. Now that is really pathetic. He now explained a whole lot of things. He said, look, let's be truthful to ourselves. That we have enormous chances. In fact, my prayer is that God should open the eyes of Nigerians to what is happening today. I am happy that Edo people voted wisely and put Adams Oshomole to shame. When Oshomole was a governor, he was shouting against godfatherism, and today he wants to be the political godfather of Edo State. And for me, the Edo election showed that Nigeria is unhappy with the APC government. But you will see some of the leaders going to the television radio to say, we are doing well. We are actually doing very well. When in their state there are no good roads, nothing. Now, but this is now where we are heading. Now, Nigerians have taken to the social media handle to respond to this. Now, I do not, to me, whether APC or PDP, generally the leadership of this country has failed Nigerians enormously. And that's why this NSAS and SWAT has begun. In fact, it's a case of Nigerians are generally obviously very tired because of all the things we generally say. Don't forget that this whole will I call it awareness from the youth all began when they decided to vote enormously for Obaseki just to prove to Adams Oshomole that Edo no be Lagos, and simply because this whole issue of the best rigger takes the day, trying to tell electorate that your votes don't count, you can hold the card, but eventually when we rig it, whoever we want in is what comes in, is who comes in, not your vote. And that was why Edolites took it personal and decided to prove and change the narrative that indeed our vote count, and that must have given the catalyst and the boost that the average Nigerian out there in the street wanted to know and take back power that belongs to them. And this is what we are seeing right now. Now, the issue of Biafra and the fact that you say, look, the people who are agitating right now have not seen war. They've not tested war. They've not seen the consequences and the damages this action causes on not just humans, but also on the economy of a country. And they say, but if eventually Biafra and Oduduwa will have a way, then by all means, other regions would have to find a way of settling themselves and following suit, which also brings to the fact that there's that general belief that there was an old eastern region, but right now there is south region, and he's trying to tell everyone that cares to know that we are not talking anything when we don't need to exchange words with anybody. When the time comes, if there will be secession, by all means we'll be thinking of something to do about it, but definitely we may not be going with Biafra. He didn't in no particular order, but then he's saying this, and he's saying that look, we rather would prefer us because of our diversity, let's still stay together as one. But let's hear what Nigerians are saying concerning this one here is saying, so foolish man, so you are not Biafra, eh? This is serious. This one here is saying, with this mentality you want to be a governor. If the so-called South are not Biafrans, then who are you? The Biafrans have come home. This one here is saying, senator. PDP was in government for 16 years. Was there light in 1985 before Buhari was overthrown? The dollar was 75 kobo. Babangida that devalued the naira. You did not accuse him. You are shouting 160 naira to a dollar as if that is the success when oil was sold at $145 per barrel. What did you do to it? You people looted it. Now oil is $28 per barrel, yet no state is being owed by any monthly allocation. Unlike your time when states were being owed up to 6 months before they get their allocation, in spite of the huge amount of sales of oil. Now the Western countries don't buy our oil anymore. Only China and India buy our oil. Don't you see the difference? The only point I support you is the call that if Oduduwa and Biafra goes, we Niger Deltans go our separate ways too. Thanks for that. In Niger Delta we stand. No to Oduduwa, no to Biafra. Wow, Nigerians are talking. Everybody is speaking their mind one way or the other. This one here say yes, of course, to a lot of Igbos, and the IPOB struggle is to acquire the land and resources of Niger Delta people, which you know that it will never happen. We are different people and different region, different tribes. Even our environment is different character wise. We are not the same. All this noise the Igbos and their people make is only for Southeast. They can't rule us. They can't rule over us. In Niger Delta we stand. Okay, I think that's what we're gonna wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's the take on what he's saying? The issue of what he stands on the issue of secession, and also the governance of Nigeria. Let's interact, have fun. Please, no hate words.